Bam! Focused minds back up in the building, keeping the Lord first and everything else to come together. Gary Russell Jr. from DC, Washington, DC, 32 and 2. A tough, gritty boxing technician. You know what I'm saying? Quick hands, good foot movement, good head movement, quick hands, combinations. You know what I'm saying? In and out type fighter. Not a big true pocket fighter, but like to get in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? A great boxer. You know, Gary be talking his stuff for sure. I respect Gary because he a serious individual outside the ring. You know, he bring a lot of respect to the game, so I respect him. And he love to pop his ish about these other boxers, especially Baltimore and DC area. You know, he been talking trash about Tank for years. He been talking trash about Lamont Roach. And one thing about it, you know, I would love to see one of them get in the ring with him. You know, right now Roach would be a good fight for him. But Gary, you got to come up, man. You in a light weight class. You got to move up, bruh. You can't be talking all this ish in this low featherweight weight class. You talking to the big boys like you could beat them, but you got to move up and wait and get it done, man. I'm tired of seeing. I want to see Gary Russell really take on a name that means something. You know, he was just lately talking about Shakur, how he'd fight. And I kind of feel him, man. Shakur on a more defensive, safe side of fighting. You know, he don't take chances. He not trying to really do go off of the game plan of in and out and so I would love to see Gary take on one of these guys at 135. I know Gary ain't gonna go to 140, but 135 at least, challenge yourself. Go fight one of these guys you think you could beat. And like I say, you a boxing technician, quick hands, quick feet. I think you would give a lot of them trouble. I don't know how your chin is though when you step up like that. Some of them guys might punch and knock you down, but I still would love to see you in there with a Lamont Roach or Shakur. I think you got a chance of actually winning. Outscoring them all the way to the scorecard. So yeah, man, Gary like to pop his ish about these different fighters, man. But he could back up some of his stuff with some of his fights, but he had a real featherweight class, and he got to move up. All the fights is bigger than that, man. You didn't dominate it in that weight class. It's time for you to step up and go ahead and fight a Lamont Roach, a Shakur, because Shakur talking about fighting Ryan Garcia, who is an average fighter that they gave a belt to just because they want him to carry on the torch as a Mexican fighter. But Ryan Garcia is an average fighter. He last fight he had, he turned his back in the ring, bad habits, chin up high, not a real champion if you ask me. And of course that means just cause he got a belt, that show you that the belts don't mean a dang on thing, y'all. Fighters, remember that. Get in the ring with the guys who top dogs in boxing. Like challenging yourselves. Who cares who got the belts and the big money fight? If you really about your legacy, you would want to go ahead and challenge yourself and fight the real fights that the people want to see. And who cares about a loss? The greatest legends got losses. Think about it. All the legends got losses, multiple ones. Remember that. You see Russell here, man, like to fight from a certain distance and get in and out real quick, got quick hand speed, great defense, don't take a lot of damage, you know what I'm saying? He probe his opponents, look for his spots, and he shoot his jab like a boxer's supposed to. He do get caught, but one thing about it, he switch levels well and got quick hands and want to get in and out on his opponent. He don't want to really stay in the pocket firing shots back and forth. That's not his game. He a boxing technician, one of the quickest hands in the game. And what he want to do is outspeed you and hit you and outscore you most of the fight to get the win. Gary in this fight, like I say, use his jab well. And he like to get in and out. Once he see a spot, he want to get in there quick, take his shots, and get back to that certain range. You know what I'm saying? Moving his head and feet. That's how Gary fight. You know what I'm saying? Got great defense, a discipline. And like I say, he like to fight at that distance, shooting his jab, finding his way in, measuring his way in. A real calculated boxing technician who I think could give uh, Shakur a lot of problems. And also, he might be at a bang with Roach. Roach is a different type fighter, though. I would love to see it. But yeah, there go Gary, just probing his fight. He's not going to fight in the pocket too long. You see my man Roach telling Russell what's up. You know what I'm saying? Russell do like talking a lot of crazy mess to these young brothers. And it's just time for him to move up. It's time for him to move up. You know what I'm saying? Take on some of these young lions. He in too light of a weight class. Can Gary Russell beat a Lamont Roach or a Shakur Stevenson? It can only be seen in the ring. And that's why I say these brothers, all this talking is not gonna make your legacy. Y'all got to fight each other. It's a must in order to, because if y'all don't ever fight each other, y'all all could be saying y'all the best, but at the end of the day, nobody gonna really know. So it's gonna be a question mark in front of all of y'all. Who was really the best? Who was really the real one to see? We don't know that. We haven't seen half of y'all in the ring. Gary, he 37 years old. He been talking about Tank. He talking about Lamont Roach, and he talking about Shakur. So I would love to see him fight Roach or Shakur. I think that'll be great fights for boxing. It ain't all about money fight popularity. It's about legacy, becoming legends. Y'all young brothers been in the game. Y'all want to be legends. So y'all gotta get in that ring with each other. So yeah, Shakur, man. You talking about this Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia is a paper champ, and the belts don't really mean nothing no more because we see that when Ryan got one, he is not a boxer that's going to challenge you. He is almost just like a YouTube boxer, really. Very average. What you need to be doing is fighting O'Shaquie Foster. I don't mind a Gary Russell Jr. fight. Lamont Roach. Who else out there for you, man? You got a few. Devin Haney. If you talking about 147. So those are the fights that's going to put something on your legacy, bruh. All this talk about Ryan Garcia does nothing for you, even if you beat him. I'm gone.
Always say everything got a price. Because people say, like, I love my dog. I get $100. No, I get $1,000. No, I get $100,000. Hey, you can have it. Like, my thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character.
And I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but you do yourself a good, you bring a good I don't want to say product's not the right word, but you're doing a very honorable service.
I appreciate that.